Ralentalis S consist Diane CY and ISC BIE. There is a moment coming in your life. A moment so small that almost nobody will notice it. No cameras, no applause, no followers, no congratulations, no dramatic movie soundtrack playing in the background. Just you. And a decision that will quietly determine the next 5 years of your life. Most people think their future changes in big moments. They think success arrives with one opportunity, one connection, one lucky break, one viral video, one winning investment, one perfect idea. But that's not how lives are built. Lives are built in the moments nobody sees. And tonight, I need you to understand something that could completely change the direction of your future. The gap between who you are and who you could become is not talent. It's not intelligence. It's not luck. It's not resources. It's consistency. The most dangerous lie ever sold to this generation is the belief that motivation is enough. It isn't. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a decision. And feelings change every day. You know this. Some mornings you wake up ready to conquer the world. Other mornings you can barely convince yourself to get out of bed. Some days you feel unstoppable. Other days you question everything. Your goals, your future, your abilities, your worth. And if your life depends on how you feel, your future will always be unstable. Because feelings are weather. Discipline is climate. Let that sink in. Feelings are weather. Discipline is climate. The world is full of people waiting to feel ready. Waiting to feel inspired. Waiting to feel confident. Waiting to feel certain. Waiting for the perfect moment. But the perfect moment never comes. Because winners and losers often feel the exact same emotions. The difference is what they do next. The future millionaire and the future quitter both feel tired. The future champion and the future spectator both feel fear. The future leader and the future follower both experience doubt. One obeys the feeling. The other obeys the mission. And that decision repeats itself every single day. That's where destinies separate, not in years, months, not even in weeks, in days, in hours, in moments. Right now, there is somebody less talented than you succeeding. Not because they're smarter, not because they're luckier, not because they're special. They're winning because they stayed consistent long enough for the world to notice. While others were chasing excitement, they were building momentum. While others were searching for shortcuts, they were mastering repetition. While others were obsessed with outcomes, they were committed to process. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The life you want is hidden inside the work you keep avoiding. The confidence you want is hidden inside the reps you keep skipping. The body you want is hidden inside the workouts you keep postponing. The business you want is hidden inside the calls you don't want to make. The future you dream about is trapped behind the discipline you keep negotiating with. And every day you delay, every day you make another deal with average. Most people don't fail because they aim too high. They fail because they stop too soon. They get excited on Monday, focused on Tuesday, distracted on Wednesday, discouraged on Thursday, gunned by Friday. Then they wonder why nothing changes. They confuse motion with progress, activity with achievement, dreaming with doing. But life doesn't reward intention. Life rewards execution. You don't get paid for what you could do. You get paid for what you repeatedly do. You are not becoming what you want. You are becoming what you practice. Think about that. You are becoming what you practice. Every repeated action is casting a vote. Every decision is shaping identity. Every habit is writing your future in permanent ink. The question is, what future are your habits creating? Because whether you realize it or not, your daily routine is a preview of your destiny. And that should either inspire you or terrify you. Because 1 year from now, you won't magically arrive somewhere new. You'll simply arrive at the destination your habits have been building. That's the painful reality most people avoid. They want transformation without repetition, results without sacrifice, growth without discomfort, success without discipline. But life doesn't work that way. The universe has a price tag attached to every meaningful achievement, and the currency is consistency. Not once, not twice, not when it's convenient. Every day, again, and again, and again, until the impossible becomes inevitable. Now let me tell you something nobody likes hearing. Your biggest enemy isn't failure, it's inconsistency. Failure teaches. Failure sharpens. Failure builds resilience. Inconsistency destroys momentum. And momentum is one of the most powerful forces in human behavior. The hardest workout isn't workout number 100. It's workout number 1. The hardest video isn't video number 500. It's video number 1. The hardest business call isn't after success. It's before success. Everything feels heavy at the beginning because momentum hasn't arrived yet. People quit before momentum can save them. They stop during the season where discipline matters most. And then they convince themselves they weren't meant for greatness. No, they simply left too early. The hidden truth most people ignore is that consistency is not about intensity. It's about identity. Read that again in your mind. Consistency is not about intensity. It's about identity. Because when you identify as someone who shows up, everything changes. You stop negotiating. You stop debating. You stop asking yourself whether you feel like it. You simply do what must be done. Not because it's easy. Not because it's exciting. Not because it's comfortable. Because it's who you are. And identity is stronger than emotion. A person who sees themselves as healthy doesn't constantly fight about whether to exercise. A person who sees themselves as disciplined doesn't need endless motivation. A person who sees themselves as committed doesn't keep restarting. Their actions become automatic. Their habits become predictable. Their results become inevitable. The greatest transformation happens when discipline stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like self-respect. Because every promise you keep to yourself builds trust, and every promise you break destroys it. Think about how many times you've told yourself, I'll start tomorrow. I'll wake up earlier. I'll be more focused. I'll stop procrastinating. I'll finally commit. And then tomorrow arrives. Nothing changes. The promise is broken. Again, most people think confidence comes from success. They're wrong. Confidence comes from evidence. And evidence comes from keeping promises to yourself. Every time you follow through, you collect proof. Proof that you can be trusted. Proof that you're capable. Proof that you're becoming stronger. Proof that you're different from who you used to be. That proof becomes confidence. That confidence becomes momentum. That momentum becomes transformation. And transformation becomes destiny. There was a time when nobody believed in certain athletes, entrepreneurs, creators, and leaders. Not because they lacked potential. Because nobody could see the future. All anyone could see was the boring repetition. The early mornings, the lonely practice sessions, the unseen sacrifices, the thousands of days that looked exactly the same. Success always looks obvious in hindsight, but while it's happening, it looks like discipline. While it's happening, it looks boring. While it's happening, it looks repetitive. While it's happening, it looks ordinary. And that's why most people never reach extraordinary. They underestimate the power of ordinary actions repeated relentlessly. One day doesn't change your life. 100 disciplined days can. One workout doesn't change your body. 1,000 workouts can. One decision doesn't create greatness. Thousands do. Because greatness isn't an event. It's a pattern. And the people you admire most are simply people who stayed committed long after everyone else got distracted. They mastered the art of showing up. When it was inconvenient. When it was boring. When it was painful. When nobody cared. When nobody believed, when results were invisible, especially when results were invisible. Because that's the season where character is forged, the season where discipline becomes destiny. And that's where your transformation begins. And now, we're here, not at the end of a speech, at the edge of a decision. Because when this video ends, reality begins. The music stops, the words disappear, the screen goes dark, and then there's only one thing left. You. The person in the mirror. The person you've been becoming. The person you're about to become. And I need you to understand something right now. The future is not waiting for you. The future is being built by what you do next. Not tomorrow. Not next Monday. Not when life calms down. Not when circumstances improve. Next, because every great life is built on a series of next decisions. The next workout. The next chapter. The next rep. The next uncomfortable conversation. The next disciplined choice. Your destiny is hiding inside your next move. And here's what most people will do. They'll feel inspired. They'll nod their heads. They'll tell themselves this was powerful. Then they'll go right back to the habits that are stealing their future. They'll return to distraction, return to excuses, return to procrastination, return to comfort. And 1 year from now, they'll wonder why nothing changed. Don't be one of them. Do not let this become another moment that felt good but changed nothing. Because deep down, you already know. You know exactly what you've been avoiding. You know the promises you've broken. You know the opportunities you've wasted. You know the standards you've lowered. You know the version of yourself you've been betraying. And that's the part that hurts. Not because you're incapable. Because you're capable of so much more. The pain isn't that you're failing. The pain is knowing what you're capable of and refusing to meet it. Think about that. Somewhere inside you is a version of yourself that already knows what to do. A stronger version, a sharper version, a disciplined version, a dangerous version. A version that doesn't negotiate with weakness. A version that doesn't need applause. A version that doesn't quit when nobody's watching. A version that keeps going. And every day you delay becoming that person, you feel it. That's why distractions don't satisfy you. That's why comfort doesn't fulfill you. That's why excuses never bring peace. Because your potential keeps calling your name. And potential is a terrible thing to waste. Years from now, you will not be haunted by the risks you took. You'll be haunted by the risks you didn't. You'll be haunted by the effort you never gave. The courage you never used. The life you never built. The person you never became. And I refuse to let that happen to you. Not today. Because this moment matters. More than you realize. Some people are waiting for a sign. This is the sign. Some people are waiting for permission. This is permission. Some people are waiting for certainty. You don't need certainty. You need commitment. You don't need guarantees. You need standards. You don't need another motivational video. You need a different level of discipline. Because motivation can start a fire, but discipline keeps it burning. And the people who change their lives aren't always the most talented. They're the most relentless, the most consistent, the most committed, the ones who keep showing up after the excitement disappears, when nobody but claps, when nobody claps, when nobody notices, when nobody cares, they continue. And eventually the world has no choice but to notice. Because relentless consistency is impossible to ignore forever. Listen carefully. This may be the most important thing you hear today. Your future self is watching. Not literally, but symbolically. The person you're becoming is depending on the choices you're making right now. The future version of you is either thanking you or begging you to stop wasting time. Every day matters. Every hour matters. Every decision matters. Life is not made in decades. Life is made in days, and days are made in moments. Moments exactly like this one. So make a choice, not a temporary choice, a permanent choice, a line in the sand choice, a no more negotiation choice, a this ends today choice. Because enough is enough, enough waiting, enough doubting, enough delaying, enough restarting, enough abandoning yourself, enough living beneath your potential, enough giving away years you'll never get back. This is your life. Your one life, your one shot, your one opportunity to find out what happens when you stop making excuses and start making progress. And if that sounds intense, good, because your dreams deserve intensity. Your future deserves intensity. Your purpose deserves intensity. The next chapter of your life deserves intensity. Now listen to me. The next time you don't feel like showing up, show up. The next time you want to quit, stay. The next time comfort calls your name, walk the other direction. The next time doubt enters your mind, take action before it can unpack its bags. Because discipline is not something you practice once, it's someone you become. And when you become disciplined, everything changes. Your standards change, your confidence changes, your identity changes, your future changes, your entire life changes. This is where the movement begins. Not a movement of motivation, a movement of execution. A movement of people who are tired of talking, tired of wishing, tired of waiting. A movement of people who decided that their actions will finally match their ambitions. People who understand that greatness is not built in giant moments. It's built in ordinary moments repeated relentlessly. And if you're hearing this right now, you are not finished. You are not behind. You are not out of time. You are standing at the starting line of a completely different life. But only if you move, only if you commit, only if you decide, because the next version of you is not coming to save you. You must build them, day by day, rep by rep, choice by choice, battle by battle, until one day people call you lucky, never knowing how many disciplined days created that moment. And here's the thought I want to leave echoing in your mind long after these words are gone. 1 year from now, who will be standing where you are standing today? The same person, or the person you promised yourself you would become? Because that answer is being written right now, not by your intentions, not by your dreams, not by your words, by your actions. Starting today, starting now, starting with the decision you make the moment this ends. And remember this, the strongest people in the world are not the people who never get tired. They are the people who refuse to stop when they do. So walk forward, hungry, focused, disciplined, relentless, and never forget, your future is not something you enter. Your future is something you earn, one disciplined day at a time.